Hey guys, I'm with Charlie from Bars and Melody.
What's happening, people?
Yep. Charlie promised me that I can do an interview with him on the last Talk Buddy chat. So my first question is, who came up with the name with Bars and Melody?
Oh, okay. So actually, the way it came about was really strange. It wasn't like, we came up with it
Yeah,
just bars and melody. It kind of came around from we were trying to come up with something catchy, right?
yeah,
So obviously everyone knows we go by BAM, right? Bars and
yeah,
melody. But we was trying to come up with something catchy, like BAM, BAM, pow, wow, like something like this. Like obviously we were kids doing teen pop, so we needed
yeah,
something that was like that was catchy. And we went through them all and we was like, what can they stand for? It has to stand for something.
yeah,
And we came across BAM, and obviously Leo is always, especially back when he was younger with his Welsh accent, he was always spitting bars. That's what he used to say. I'm
yeah,
spitting bars. So we was like, oh, you're the bars, and it just kind of just clicked. It was like, oh, BAM, bars and melody.
yeah,
That, that's pretty cool. You rap, you spit the bars, and you sing the melody like that.
yeah,
That works, and that was it. Like it wasn't like we had a couple of ideas and anything. Like it was just a chat. We was like, oh, we need a name. Like and we was in the car
yeah.
with our first manager at the time, and he was like, yeah, you boys need to decide on a name. I'm not naming you guys. You need to decide on a name. You don't have a name. You've been doing music together for 6 months now. You don't even have a name. You need to
Yeah.
create one. And literally within 5 minutes, just being sat in the car with me, Leo, a couple of friends, and our manager, we just come up with it.
I like that. I like the bars and melody. Like I like how you guys like say like in your videos or songs like raps like bars and melody. Second question is, what's your favorite album you and Leo made?
I think it's got to be Sad Boy. I think just because of the weight of the album and the time period. I think I
Yeah.
talked to you about it before when we spoke on our
Oh
last
yeah.
session. It was an album that was in between us being kids and men. So you can hear a lot of broken child and
Mm.
wandering adult in that album. Like there's a very strong standpoint of like a child leaving his child life and
Yeah.
body, if that makes sense. And then there's also that confusion and feeling of being lost as a new adult in a very big and cold world. So
Yeah.
that yeah, it's definitely got a big meaning behind the entire album for sure.
Mm. That album definitely changed a lot, like for you guys, like especially like young to like adults. Like it's crazy how much
Yeah,
you guys like put a lot of effort with
for
the
sure. For
songs and
sure.
stuff. Next question. How long it took you guys to film the Own Ways music video?
Ownway's music video actually was very quick. So some of these videos you'll see have like super, super high budgets and they take days, big team. And then some other videos, like for instance, the last couple of videos,
Yeah,
they've been completely homemade, like completely homemade. Own Ways was homemade as well. It was a homemade video.
yeah.
COVID time. We was locked in the house and just literally just filmed a bunch of random shots and it just come together and worked really well.
Mm,
Like the video came out really cool. Um, we kind of just tried to, like we just did one shot of me sat on the stairs. Didn't even wasn't even anything. We did a shot of us like sat around playing some poker because we
yeah,
usually like sit and play poker.
yeah,
Us and the boys just like to sit around and play poker sometimes. So we filmed like a shot of that, and then we just like just we used to me and Leo used to have a house where we've just moved into a new office now, but
yeah.
we lived in a house together at the time, and had a really nice big open plan kitchen, and we was just like, oh, okay, we'll film some shots in here too. We ended up filming a couple of music videos in
Yeah.
there. The Any music video was also in the same house. Yeah, we just try and utilize what we've got and also try and make things like genuine.
Yeah.
Um, the videos like that always seem to do better. So,
Um, my next question is, who came up with the idea with Leo sitting in the bathtub full with milk and
oh,
cereal?
okay, that was me. And he still hates me for it. Um, he still hates me for it. He still never forgives me for that. Um, it was because we said own ways, right?
Yeah,
And I was trying to think of an artwork design, and I can't tell you how it came about, but we came up with the cereal box,
yeah,
and it was like our own cereal, own ways, like the own way cereal, right?
yeah,
And so we was like, for that, we have to get a bunch of like the O's, like the Cheerios or whatever, the cereal. Um, and we was like, we've got to like just spread them all over the counter. We've got to have a couple boxes or whatever. And then
yeah.
I was just like, nah, bro, we need you in a big bowl of it. Like, how do we make that happen? Like, how do we make that happen quick? Like, how do we get Leo in a big bowl of cereal quick?
Yeah.
We were trying to think of ideas like pools, everything like that. And we was like, no, it's just not gonna work. I was like, bro, just get in a bath. He was like, nah, bro, I'm not doing it. I was like, bro, you're doing it. We filled up the bath with, I mean, an obscene amount of milk. Um,
Yeah.
an obscene amount of milk. Um, I kept the receipt actually. One day I was meant to post it just to show how much we spent on milk.
Yeah.
Um, but I'll have to dig it out of the drawer at some point and show you. But it was stupid. We bought an obscene amount, filled up the bath,
Yeah.
and then just chucked Leo in it, and he wasn't happy. But yeah,
Oh, I feel bad for Leo, just like in the milk tub and stuff. Uh, but yeah, my next question is, will there be another album?
yeah, for sure, definitely. Um, albums are just different nowadays, like to release an album now, you've really got to do big things and make a big deal of it and make sure it's perfect.
Yeah.
So we will do an album. I mean, we've been we've been going for a period where we're writing a bunch of new music. Like we've made steps as artists again. We've leveled as artists again.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that was old, we're now trying to put into the back catalog and put into the bank and make new, fresher stuff. And we're at the point now where we're probably about 2 albums worth of songs in.
Yeah.
But the thing about being an artist, man, you'll write 10 albums worth of songs every time you release an album. And
Definitely.
that's just the way it is. So there will be one, but be at the right time. Be at the
Yeah.
right time.
It definitely like takes a long time to like put a lot of effort with the album design, promotions, and pretty much like lyrics, just to make sure everything's fit and instrument and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. For
All
sure.
right. My next question is, what made you guys came up with the inspiration to do Hopeful in Japanese?
So we obviously being from everything that come from the Britain's Got Talent
Yeah.
audition and series, we went on to do a lot of charity work. We went on to do a lot of community work. I mean, it's stuff that was all never publicized either because we were never really we never really did anything for the clout. We never really did anything just for the papers and stuff. We did it because we actually wanted to make a change.
Yeah.
But we basically managed to sit down with the Prime Minister of the UK at the time,
Yeah.
and make it law that every school had to have anti-bullying policies.
Yeah.
So now every school in the UK has to have an anti-bullying policy, something me and Leo set up with the Prime Minister. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that. We don't talk about that a lot. From then on, that started to gain a lot of traction. We ended up then signing to a Asian label that wanted us to do some more K-pop, J-pop style tracks.
Yeah.
And that's why we have the Japanese album as the Japanese album, which you can tell has a lot more of like an Asian influence on the music.
Yeah.
And we basically went over there. We've been to back and forth to Japan like not 100 times, but we've been many times, and we always try and do amazing things when we're over there. But we basically did the same thing. We sat down with the mayor of Tokyo and managed to make it a law that Japan was to have every school have an anti-bullying policy because Japan is actually the highest rate of suicides and bullying in the world. So we kind of looked that we was making a change, and we looked to see where we could make the biggest change, and it was there. And the label was super happy to work with us on spreading this message. and they came up with the idea of creating a Japanese version of Hopeful. And I mean, I think it was genius. You know, it went
Mm,
number one across the charts, all over there. The album did number one. The actual rate of bullying for the
yeah.
year after we left and set up all these policies dropped by like 30-40%. Like it was crazy. Like it
Mm,
made such an impact. And you know, we don't do those things to sit here and be arrogant about it. It's genuinely fulfilling. It's what keeps me going every day, is knowing I've been able to help make these changes. Um, but it's also that song. You know, I
yeah.
can't have it all to myself. It's that song. That song hit people differently, and we made a Japanese version, and it did exactly the same over there.
Yeah.
Um, so that was the main inspiration. It was to make a change over there.
Yeah, yeah, because that song I cried like million times because how much the message in that song is important for everyone who's getting bullied these days. I can hear like you, Leo, putting a lot of effort with the stories and stuff. So yeah,
I appreciate you, man. It's not easy being it's not easy being vulnerable in the limelight, but through being vulnerable in the limelight, you allow other people to be vulnerable. So
mm. All right. Next question is, what's your favorite moments on tour?
oh God, Gary, you're giving me tough questions. I mean, I'm blessed, man. I've been touring the world, traveling, living my dream since I was 13 years old, right?
Yeah.
So it's for me to be able to compress that into a single memory. I honestly couldn't. When I think of that, I have like a movie flash in my brain, you know, just images, memories.
Yeah.
Um, I think the most important thing is just um that sense of freedom. You know, tour when you're on tour, you really feel
Yeah.
free. New country every day, new people, new city, new show,
Yeah.
and just having a great crew, having a great team, and just having a really good time. You know, we've never been shy of having a good time.
Mm,
Especially when you're traveling the world, you really get to see some amazing places, experience some
mm.
amazing things. I would just say just touring in general. I can't wait to get back on tour.
Definitely.
Um, Taking this time off from touring has definitely made me appreciate it.
Yeah, I want to get on stage with Leo and Charlie to sing Henny when they come to Australia. So I'm looking forward to that. Like, it's good that you guys tour again. I know it takes a bit of time to put a lot of effort and stuff. So, yeah, I
It takes
appreciate.
time.
Yeah, I definitely like appreciate all the hard work you guys put and stuff.
No, I appreciate it, man. And you know, we do it for you guys. We do it for the fans. We do it for the community. And you know, we wouldn't do it if it wasn't for you guys. So you guys are the reason why we're here and we do this. So thank you guys.
You're welcome, Maji. Like we always support your music. You guys are one of the best artists out there. Because you guys
Appreciate
like
you, bro.
definitely tell true stories like where you guys like make songs and stuff. So yeah,
No, I appreciate you, man. Really do. Really do.
yeah. Another question is, who came up with the idea with the music video with Little Missy and Santorini together in one music video?
Yeah, that was my idea. Any weird ideas you see is probably me.
Yeah,
It's always me doing the weird shit. Um, I just had this idea of like a day and night music video, and we always wanted to do a song, right, which was like a beat switch, you know, like it had like a big beat switch in it.
yeah.
And we have done songs like that, but I was like, why has no one ever done like a song switch? You know, like why has no one ever
Oh,
done like, you know, like from one song to another, but within the same technically like song, right? Obviously,
yeah.
we released the tracks individually, but for the music video, having you know something like a bit more like vibey, like Santorini, and then to go to something
Mm,
emotional like um um Little Missy. I don't know. There was just something special about it, man. So
yeah.
it was a really cool concept that I come up with, and I think it worked. I think it worked.
Yeah, definitely like because after Centenary and then boom, Little Missy, like that was crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I like the style of the instrument, Little Missy. like busy little missy, yes, you gotta talk with your experience. But
Banger, banger.
yeah, definitely a banger. It's a good idea to put like two music video once.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
Alright, my next question is if you guys have a country in mind you haven't visited, which country would you guys want to visit for tour?
It's definitely got either be. I mean, my top two places is Australia and Japan, like that we've been to.
Yeah,
So whenever it comes to where do I want to go, it's definitely those two. There's a lot of places that I haven't seen yet that I really want to go and explore and
yeah,
take time. Um, but that's different to touring and working. I've been to Australia and Japan multiple times, and it's a place I like to be and travel, tour, and visit. So, um, it's definitely like when people say where do you want to go, it's definitely there because I know it's
yeah,
somewhere I can go. I know what I'm doing, but there's a lot of places I want to explore as well. There's a lot of places I haven't been.
yeah,
I've managed to get across the globe and back quite a few times, but I still haven't seen everywhere. There's still a lot of places I want to go and experience and see.
definitely. Like I'm glad you guys liking Australia. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oh, oh, no,
Yeah,
we love the Aussies, man.
definitely. Um, my next question is: when you guys first came to Australia, how was it like being out of UK to Australia?
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, Australia was one of our first trips, right? So,
Yeah,
we did LA,
yeah,
um, for only like 5 days, and
yeah,
then we come home, and then it was straight to Australia for 3 weeks. Our first trip to Australia was 3 weeks,
yeah,
and I wish I was older so I could go back and appreciate that trip because I was so young, like I was 15, 16. So,
yeah,
um, I didn't get to enjoy it the way I would have liked to enjoy it, let's say now as an adult.
yeah,
But I still had an amazing time. Like it was such an amazing trip. We went with all of our family and we toured all Australia. We went everywhere, we did everything. We did all the talk shows, we went to the zoos.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got pictures with cuddling kangaroos and all that stuff. I've done all the typical Aussie stuff. And
Yeah,
yeah, that first trip like is what made Australia so like appealing to me, like the reason
yeah,
why I love it.
yeah. Um, my last, my last final question. Um, what is your favorite sad boy merch you guys made?
I think it's got to be the black and red tracksuit. We did the black and red tracksuit. We had the bags with it, the hat, like it was a full collection.
Yeah,
Um, and I spent a lot of time on that one. I don't know how many people know, but like when it comes to the actual design and product, I do majority of the selecting and designing.
yeah,
I mean, I work with the designers and stuff, and that was the one that like I had a vision, and it actually came out as much as I wanted it to the right way.
yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you for your time, Charlie, for letting me doing interview. If you're down, would you like to do a part two interview in the next
For sure.
session?
Why not? Why not,
All right,
people? You want a part two? Let us know.
yeah.
Let us
Part
know.
two, stay tuned for that. All right,
Appreciate you, bro.
thanks, Charlie.
Appreciate it. No problem, man.